Hello, my friends. Today, I want to share with you something very special and exciting. It is about learning English while you sleep. Yes, you heard that right. Learning while you are sleeping sounds amazing, right? But how can it be possible? Let me explain it to you in very simple words. When you go to bed at night, your body sleeps, but your brain does not completely shut down. Your brain keeps working. Quietly, it keeps listening, it keeps processing, and it keeps remembering. This means that if you listen to English while you sleep, your brain can pick up the sounds, the rhythm, and the words even when you are resting. This is why many people all around the world use this method to support their English learning. Think about it this way: we all sleep for 6, 7, or even 8 hours every night. That is a lot of time, usually wasted. But if we use that time in a smart way, then it becomes a golden chance for us to improve our English without any extra effort. Imagine you are sleeping peacefully, and at the same time your brain is catching new English words, new phrases, and new sounds. This is not magic, it is science. Our brain has a very strong memory system. It works even when we are unconscious. It can remember sounds and patterns better than we think. You may have experienced this yourself. Sometimes you wake up with a song stuck in your head or a line from a movie playing in your mind that happened because your brain was still processing while you were sleeping. Now, if you replace songs or random sounds with English audios, then your brain will naturally start remembering English in the same way. In fact, researchers have found that people who listen to a new language while sleeping can recognize words faster when they wake up. This shows us that sleep learning is not a myth. It is real, and it can really help you in your English journey. So my friends, the idea is simple: let your brain work for you even when you are not awake. Let your sleep time become your study time. But before we go deeper, let us clear one thing: learning English while sleeping will not make you a fluent speaker in one night. It is not a shortcut to success. It is not a magic trick. Instead, it is a helper, a booster that supports your main study during the day. When you combine both active practice in the day and passive listening at night, you create a powerful system for yourself. So my friends, remember this: your brain is like a sponge. It loves to absorb information, especially when it is calm and relaxed. And there is no better time than sleep to let it absorb English naturally. This is why sleep learning is becoming more popular, because it uses your rest time as an opportunity to grow without stress and without pressure. Now imagine if every night you listen to simple English stories, or daily conversations, or even vocabulary lists. Slowly, your brain will get used to the rhythm and sound of English. My friends, now that you understand the idea of learning English while you sleep, let us go deeper and see how it really works, because many people wonder, how can my brain learn if I am not awake? How can I remember words if I am dreaming? It may sound impossible, but actually it is very simple and natural. When you sleep, your brain goes through different stages. Sometimes it rests deeply, and sometimes it becomes lighter and more active. In those lighter stages, your brain is still open to sounds and information around you. This is why sometimes you can hear noises in your dream, or you wake up because someone called your name. That shows us that even in sleep, the brain is listening and processing. Now imagine, instead of random sounds or noises you play English audio, maybe a story, maybe vocabulary, or maybe a simple conversation. Your brain starts catching the rhythm of the words, the sound of the sentences, and the tone of the speaker. It may not be a clear memory like reading a book, but it becomes a hidden memory stored inside your mind, and later, when you hear the same word while awake, you feel it is familiar because your brain has already heard it before in your sleep. This is how sleep learning works. It does not mean you will wake up speaking perfect English, but it means your brain becomes more friendly with English sounds, your ears get trained, and your memory becomes ready. When you practice during the day, it feels easier because your brain has already been warmed up during the night. Think about how children learn their first language. They listen again and again before they even start speaking. They hear the voices of parents, family, and people around them for months and months before they say their first word. In the same way, your brain needs repeated listening, and what better time for repeated listening than your sleep time, when you do not need to focus or stress. Your mind just receives and stores. Science also supports this idea. Researchers have done experiments where people listened to new vocabulary in another language during sleep, and later those people could recognize and remember the words faster than those who did not listen. This shows that the brain really can learn in a passive way, and sleep is a perfect state for this kind of passive learning. But my friends, remember this: the key is not to expect miracles. The key is to be consistent. Play the same audio night after night. Let your brain get used to it. The more your brain hears the same words, the deeper they go into your memory. It is just like watering a plant. A little water every day makes the plant grow strong. In the same way, little English every night makes your brain more comfortable with the language. Another important point is the type of audio you choose. It should be simple and clear. If you are a beginner, then start with easy vocabulary lists or simple daily conversations. If you are at a higher level, you can try short stories or podcasts. My friends, now that we understand how sleep learning works, let us talk about what exactly you can learn while you are sleeping. Because many people think, maybe I can learn everything in my sleep, maybe I will wake up fluent, but the truth is different. So let us see what is possible and what is not. The first and most powerful thing you can learn in your sleep is listening skills. Your ears become used to the sounds of English when you hear words and sentences again and again during sleep. Your brain slowly accepts them as normal. This makes you more comfortable. When you listen in the daytime, you do not feel lost or scared because the words sound familiar. The second thing you can build is vocabulary memory. When you hear new words many times in your sleep, they become easier to remember later. You may not know the full meaning right away, but when you hear the same word in your class, in your book, or in a conversation, your brain says, wait, I know this sound, I have heard it before, and this makes it faster for you to learn and understand. The third benefit is improving your accent and pronunciation. When you listen to natural English during your sleep, your brain absorbs the rhythm, the tone, and the way native speakers stress words. It is like music. Your brain remembers the tune even without effort. So when you speak during the day, your mouth tries to copy what your ears have already stored in your memory. But my friends, there are also some things you cannot fully learn in your sleep. Grammar is one example. Grammar needs focus, practice, and explanation. Your brain cannot understand rules while you are dreaming. Also, speaking itself needs active effort. You cannot practice conversation while asleep. You need to talk with people when you are awake. So sleep learning is not a full solution, it is only a strong support. Now let us imagine how this works in real life. Suppose you listen to a list of simple English sentences every night. In the morning, you may not remember every sentence word by word, but when someone uses a similar sentence in front of you, your brain reacts quickly. It feels like you have already heard it, and this helps you understand faster and respond with more confidence. This method also helps reduce fear. Many learners feel nervous when they hear English because it sounds too fast or too strange. But if your brain is hearing English every night, slowly you stop feeling that fear. It becomes a normal part of your life, like background music. You hear so much that it no longer scares you. Another great thing you can learn is common phrases and daily expressions, because they repeat often in conversations. When you listen to them in your sleep, your brain picks them up like small building blocks. Later, you use them naturally in speaking, without even thinking too much. My friends, now that we know what we can learn while sleeping, let us talk about how to do it the right way, because many people make mistakes. They play random audios, they use loud sounds, or they expect quick results, and then they feel disappointed. So today, I will guide you step by step on how to use sleep learning in the best way. The first step is choosing the right audio. This is very important. If you are a beginner, start with simple vocabulary lists or short, easy sentences. If you are at an intermediate level, you can try small stories or simple conversations. If you are advanced, you can go for podcasts or longer materials. But remember, do not choose anything too difficult or too fast. Your brain will not relax if it struggles too much. The goal is to make your brain comfortable with English, not stressed. The second step is about volume. Play audio at a soft and gentle level. It should be quiet, like background music, not loud like a classroom. If it is too loud, you will not sleep well, and your brain will reject it. If it is soft and calm, your brain accepts it naturally without disturbing your rest. The third step is repetition. Do not change the audio every night. Choose one audio and play it for many nights in a row. Why? Because your brain loves repetition. Repetition is the mother of learning. When you hear the same words and sentences again and again, they sink deeper into your memory and become part of you. The fourth step is timing. the best time to start the audio is just before you go to bed. Let it play while you are falling asleep, and then let it continue during the night. Some people set it to loop so that the audio repeats again and again. If you sleep for 7 hours, your brain will hear English many times without you even knowing. The fifth step is combining it with your daytime practice. Remember, my friends, sleep learning is only half of the process. In the day, you must practice actively. Speak, read, write, and listen with focus. Then, at night, let your brain relax and absorb passively. It is like two sides of the same coin. Both are needed for real progress. The sixth step is consistency. Do not expect change in one night or 1 week. Give it time. Learning is a journey, not a race. If you listen every night for months, you will see real results. Slowly you will notice that your listening is better, your vocabulary is stronger, and your fear of English is gone, but only if you stay consistent. The seventh step is choosing the right environment. Make sure your room is quiet and peaceful. No distractions, no loud noises from outside. Keep your phone or device near but safe so that the audio plays smoothly. The calmer the environment, the better your brain can absorb the English input. My friends, now we have reached the last part of this journey. We talked about what sleep learning is. We talked about how it works. We discussed what you can learn and how to practice it the right way. But now I want to give you something even more important, and that is motivation, because in the end, motivation is the fuel that keeps us moving forward. Many people start learning English with energy and excitement, but after some time they feel tired or they lose hope. They think, maybe I cannot do it, maybe it is too late, maybe I am not good enough. But my friends, I want you to remember one truth. No one is born perfect in English or any language. Everyone learns step by step, slowly, day by day. The beautiful thing about sleep learning is that it removes pressure from you. You do not need to sit with books all the time. You do not need to push yourself too hard. You simply allow your brain to keep learning while you rest. It is like a silent helper working for you in the background every single night. Think about how powerful this is. You go to bed tired after a long day, but instead of wasting those hours, your brain is still training, still improving, still preparing you for tomorrow. So when you wake up, you are not only fresh in body, but also stronger in your English journey. This is the smart way of learning, using every moment of life wisely. But remember, my friends, the real magic comes from consistency. If you listen one night and then stop for a week, you will not see results. If you play audio for a few days and then give up, you will not feel the change. But if you keep going every night like a habit, you will see how English slowly becomes part of you. It is like drops of water falling on a rock. After a long time, even rock changes. So imagine what can happen to your brain if you feed it English every night. So my message to you is very simple. Do not give up. Use your nights as your secret classroom. Use your days as your practice ground. Together, they will make you unstoppable. You will be able to listen better, understand faster, speak with more confidence, and most importantly, you will enjoy the process because you are growing without stress. In the end, remember, this success is not about one big step, it is about small steps. Everyday success is not about sudden change, it is about consistent progress. If you keep walking, you will reach your goal. If you keep listening, you will start speaking. If you keep believing, you will achieve everything you dream. So my dear friends, go forward with hope and discipline tonight. When you go to bed, do not waste your time. Let English flow into your mind. Let your brain work for you and trust the process. One day you will look back and you will be proud of how far you have come. Thank you for staying with me in this journey. I hope you start using sleep, learning as a tool in your English journey, and I hope you never stop believing in yourself. Your future is bright. Your success is waiting for you now. It is your time.